Yobachi 2007 back at you with another one. We've got a lot of women out here in these internet streets talking about how lonely they are after divorce, after divorces that they chose, and how hard it is being a single mother when they chose single motherhood, when they had a father in the home, and they were a wife to a husband, and they chose to get rid of him. Let's just start off and hear this one, and we're going to go through a couple of points because we have a woman who has a resolution to the problem. But let's hear the problem first, and then let's hear the resolution by a woman here down the line.
Video is just going to be like to update you guys on how I'm doing like emotionally, and just to let others of you all out there know that if you're going through a divorce, like the different emotions that you're going to go through, and to just let you know that you're not alone. You are not alone.
I am here with you. No, I'm just kidding. When you break up your home, you're going to be alone, especially in today's world where the dating streets aren't really trying to take on single women who don't appreciate the husbands they already had. Hit the like on this video if you like me up real quick. Maybe even subscribe. We're going to get right back to the video and hear some more from this lovely young lady. Hit the like button and we're right back to the program.
And this is also for me, so I know that I'm not alone. And I know in my last life update video, so many of you guys left so many encouraging comments, and I had a lot of you guys send me really encouraging emails letting me know that I'm not alone. So I cannot tell you guys how much that meant to me. I'm kind of depressed.
Yes, the part of you was missing was that other half that you're supposed to cleave to when you leave your mother and father. And it's called a husband. That's what's missing. And yes, it's sad to end a marriage. So maybe we need to be more circumspect about dealing with marriage in a more respectful manner and take marriage much more seriously and try to sustain our commitments that we make before God. Now, we talked about Tia Mowry in a previous video, and let's listen to a little bit more of what she had to say about coming back to the dating market after her marriage. We heard about the loneliness there. Let's hear about how it is to date after divorce for women coming back to these streets, especially women with children.
It's true. And I feel like also it seems as if men are now just looking at women as objects. Do you know what I mean? And just from one need or perspective, as opposed to, looking at building and growing. And what I mean by building, like building a family, growing a beautiful unit, for...
What is she talking about? Building a family? That's what her husband did with her. That she tore down. She had a built family with a 15-year husband who she had been with for almost 20 years, I think, in total, dating before they got married. 2 kids, a unit. She wants to go, so she left her family unit to go to the streets to find a man to build a family unit with her. When she's coming with a ready-made family of her own kids already at 45, I think a man wants to build a family unit with a 45-year-old woman headed towards menopause. This is crazy. And let's get a reminder of why Tia didn't want to stay with her husband. We'll have Kempire give that report again.
After you guys dragged her on social media about it, she took to her social media with a response. So Tia said this in a tweet. She says, "Just because dating life is complicated doesn't mean I'm going to go back to something that no longer served me."
Her husband didn't serve her, so she doesn't come into the ministry of marriage to serve, but only to be served. So since she wasn't getting served and getting her ego stroked and having everything be as she wanted at her beck and call, and this man wasn't hopping for her because he's a man being a man, as a man should be, leading his his family unit. She tossed that aside to go back to the streets to look for a family unit. Well, we have another woman who has a resolution to the loneliness and to the family unit problem and to the stigma of being a single divorced mom. Let's hear about this resolution to the problem.
I seriously can't stand it that there's some people out there that just feel so alone going through the divorce process and or single moms that feel isolated. It kills me because you don't have the person in the home that's like cheering you on, right? So you're like having to constantly cheer yourself on. And it can be incredibly isolating. And then also you start to lose sight of your own personal goals. Like you just kind of like life gets heavy and then you're just like, what am I even doing? And you have your friends, but unless you've been through it, you've not been through it. You know what I mean? And then when we attach to it the rhetoric that we hear everywhere in our culture, like single moms scrape by, or like when someone says, oh, I have this friend and she's a single mom. Like, it's like they change the way they say it. It's not empowering. The way it's been said, it's not empowering. I want to change that. Like, I want to change the narrative of like when someone says, I have this friend and she's a single mom, like the first thing that comes to your mind is like, single moms are the shit. That's the community I'm creating over here.
It's more like that's the world of delusion she's living in over here or over there in her state of loneliness after she wrecked her home and ended her marriage. She talks about there's no one in the home to cheer you on. Lady, you threw him out the home. There's someone in the home to cheer you on you're talking about? You mean your husband that you got rid of? Yeah, when you get rid of the person, when you get rid of your support, when you get rid of their other half who you're supposed to cleave one to another, then you don't have that. That's kind of how it works. If I take my television and throw it out the window, I don't have a television anymore. That's how it goes. Just like you threw your husband out the house. If you threw your television out the house, you wouldn't have that either. So you don't have your husband. So you live with what you have. And in her delusion of her loneliness, she thinks by some means of magically manifesting it, she's going to change the narrative of reality. She's going to change the culture and build her a community. She's going to build her a community over here in Lonely Land. She's going to build a community of people who will no longer regard single motherhood as what it is, a liability to a man. No, lady, you're not going to change anything. Men with options, productive men who have something to lose, are not looking for middle-aged women with a ready-made family when they'd rather get a younger woman and start their own family. Right? There's going to be exceptions. There's an exceptional woman. It is not exceptional by your all standards. It's what the man considers exceptional for him. If she's particularly submissive, particularly feminine, she's going to bring to this man a life that makes up for the deficit of bringing a child or two, and usually only one for the guys who are going to be willing to accept that. There can be these exceptions. But by and large, men are not looking to bring 2 or 3 kids into their household. A lot of them not even looking to bring one. And they're certainly not looking to bring any children into their household and a middle-aged woman to be a boss chick, to be a partner, to pay all the bills or the vast majority of it, while his money is his money, your money is your money, and you want him to take care of your kids, and you think you're going to run things. No. Ain't going to happen. And no narrative is changing. You know what your cure for loneliness is, rather than this nonsense manifesting a community that you're talking is? It's a husband. The one you already had and got rid of. I'm sorry, ladies. This is just the way it goes. There ain't nothing out here in these streets. You ought to stop with the foolishness and learn to make things work with your husband. Learn to get along with the man and be cooperative in a relationship. Until then, just going to have these problems. Loneliness is a part of wrecking your home, and there ain't nothing out here for you in the streets. Like me up. Hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell so you can get the notification to come back for more. Yobachi 2007. I'm out.